But there is a credible thing that's almost like the rat in Avengers Endgame, where this is the actual villain. Like Snickers is the real villain of the story.
This Snickers.
I forgot all about it until right this second.
Welcome back to the Break Room. We are going to be reviewing Jurassic World Rebirth today here on the show. The 2025 film directed by Gareth Edwards and the 7th Jurassic Park film, the 4th Jurassic World movie. It's in some ways a return to form, in other ways got everything going on with it that the other Jurassic World movies did. But we got ScarJo in this universe now, Mahershala Ali, Rupert Friend, who's not very Rupert friendly in this movie, and Jonathan Bailey, our Fiero, who might be auditioning for Indiana Jones in this movie. We'll talk about it all in the review. We are live streaming right now. Hopefully we've worked out some audio issues in this VOD upload later. But joining me on the show today are Jessica Clemons.
Hello.
Hello. And also, first time here on the Break Room with us in the new Rockstars network. We're so happy to have Erin Perine on the show.
What's
Erin!
going on, guys? Oh my goodness, what an introduction. Thank you, Erik. Thank you, Jessica.
I'm still clapping.
Oh, yes, she is.
We've been dying to get you on the show, Erin. You may know Erin from Phase Hero, a wonderful podcast that streams every Wednesday on the Phase Hero YouTube channel. We love everybody over there. But Erin, you've been a friend of the channel for a long time. We're so glad that you could come on the show today.
Thank you so much. It's nice not to be murdered by you in a game of traitors.
So what Erin's referring to is a backyard game of the traitors that was hosted by a friend of ours named Marshall, who had a lot of people you may know from the entertainment journalism community. And I was selected as a traitor. Erin made it very far as a faithful, but ultimately was killed off by myself and some of the other traitors as part of our strategy. And we went 4 for 4. Like, all 4 of us made it to the end, and we were too good at the game, I think. None of us were asked back, because I think we were too good. But Erin was great. Erin was very, very good. We killed off Erin's partner right off the bat.
Damn.
Not just her, but everyone sitting next to me in my immediate eyesight. So everybody's like, oh, everyone's dying right now. I'm like, oh, I didn't do it. I didn't do it.
At some point, it was like Erin and me, and like there was 12 empty seats in between us, and I just look over to Erin, and I'm just like, it's gonna be one or the other. I knew who, obviously I know I'm a traitor, but it was super fun. It was really fun. We got to do like a new Rockstars kind of Big Brother, or a new Rockstars traitor, or something like that, and just see who would win. I feel like Jess would be very good at it.
I wouldn't. I'm not good at lying. I'm not good at... Well, we'll see today if I'm good at lying.
Yeah, we'll find out. On Jessica's real opinions about Jurassic World Rebirth, because this is a review and we're going to get into the nitty gritty. We're going to be real honest with our opinions about this movie, what we loved, what did not work out, how it really ranks with the other Jurassic movies. Might be kind of hard to do, but we'll try to rank this movie by the end of the movie. And if you're just joining us now, I am talking louder than I normally would. And it's not that I'm trying to shout over anyone. I'm just trying to balance my audio naturally. So let's quickly begin by just recapping what happens in this film. We are 5 or so years after the events of Jurassic World Dominion. Dinosaurs are now roaming the earth freely, but due to several environmental factors, they are now migrating closer to the equator and are occupying regions of the tropics. We find ourselves on an island called Île Saint-Hubert, which is a French pronunciation that I butchered just there, but it is another island that used to be owned by InGen. InGen used this island to do experiments with dinosaurs to mutate them, because we're a few years after the Jurassic World Park had opened on Isla Nublar. Apparently people got bored with dinosaurs, so they had to work on things that would eventually become the Indominus Rex. But we learned of other things that they worked on, including a Mutodon raptor and then a Distortus Rex. We jump ahead to the future, where now Martin Krebs, played by Rupert Friend, is working for Parkergenics, the company, a pharmaceutical company that is acquired InGen, is now in Brooklyn, where Bronto Billy is dying in the street. Recruits ScarJo, who plays Zora Bennett, who's a special ops expert, on this mission with Dr. Henry Loomis to go to this island to extract the DNA of 3 of the largest dinosaurs from land, sea, and air as part of what they hope will be their attempt to cure heart disease. They put together a team that also includes some MARSOC friends of Zora Bennett, including Mahershala Ali as Duncan Kincaid. They end up picking up these marooned family of sailors, of the Delgados. They have to outrun a Spinosaurus and a Mosasaurus. They crash land. Things go awry. The groups get separated. The dinos start hunting them. And then, they find the Titanosauruses. There's a raft sequence that was straight out of the plans for the 93 film in Michael Crichton's book. It's one of the best scenes of the movie where the T-Rex just shines and it's wonderful. But Martin Krebs was willing to let Teresa, the girl, die. So once they get back to this facility, the Distortus Rex just turns on them. And it's exciting. Lots of people die. Only really Krebs dies, though, other than these 2 other people, or 3 other people on the crew who die horrific deaths. Horrific deaths. But the family gets away okay. They're going to distribute the DNA, not to this rich pharmaceutical company, but just to the masses, so that, people can just kind of open source this stuff. And then we'll see what horrible things that causes, because who knows if that's a great idea. But it's, in some ways a very scary movie, but does fall into the same problems that I think the other 3 Jurassic World movies did. I was talking for a long time there, so I want to get you guys' thoughts. What'd you think of the film?
I liked it. I will say before I get too into it, I did see it a second time. Because I have a very fun time watching this movie. I think it's a very capital P, popcorn cinema experience kind of movie. I think when we saw it, Cinema Score was there to give us sheets of papers and tell us what your review was, and I gave it a C. And I still stand by that C after the second time seeing it. I think the dinosaurs are great. I think it's natural that people from New Rockstars, if you know me, I love big monsters. I love Gareth Edwards' 2014 Godzilla. I had a great time with the dinosaurs. I was loving them eating people. I didn't care that I didn't know those people. But I think that was the part in the writing that made me really upset. I think surface level, I don't know if this is David Koepp's decision or whoever's decision. I think they expected us to have more of an emotional connection to these characters, and the pacing of the film didn't give us enough to warrant that connection. I think when we got to ScarJo and Mahershala's scenes that were supposed to be more backstory, they haven't seen each other in 10 years, I had no emotional connection to it. I was like, this sounds sad, but I don't have a connection to it because the pacing was weird, or more so, on paper, maybe David Koepp was like, this looks great. And then when it was shot, it was not executed the same way. It didn't feel the same heavy burden like it should have felt, or the ripple it should have felt. And it did feel like a lot of the other Jurassic Park movies, which I don't have a little problem of. It's more so, it's been so many years and the only additive is this mutant T-Rex that seems like it was a cash grab, if that makes sense. It sounds like Universal was trying to benefit its park more than it was trying to benefit the actual Jurassic Park franchise. And that's where I started getting kind of mad.
Yeah, I get
That's where I kind of got a little mad. But again, I saw it twice because I love the T-Rex. I love that river raft scene. I actually didn't have a problem with the family parts of it. I think the family's got the best part of the movie because it was when the dinosaurs were acting its craziest.
Yeah.
But I just was not emotionally invested in anybody, period.
Yeah. What'd you think, Aaron?
So Gareth Edwards is an ascended superfan. I've jokingly said that this movie is the most expensive fan film you've ever seen.
Yeah, 100%.
For sure. My man loves Jurassic Park. So there's so much of it that feels fan service and things where it's this is from Jurassic Park 1. This is from The Lost World. This is part that references, the first Jurassic World. Because that movie's old enough now that some kids in the audience might have nostalgia for it, right? But also, the characters are very stock characters. There are some moments where people get picked off, and Jess was saying, they want you to be oh no, this person, but we barely even know their names.
I don't know the person.
Who? I don't know that man.
The only part I felt bad about was I was like, oh, he got swallowed by a bird. I was like, that sucks. That was like the worst way to go.
Leclerc had the worst death of the movie, worse than Martin Krebs.
He was
like grabbing the beak as it was swallowed. He got swallowed whole.
But not to cut you off, it was the woman that unfortunately died. I was like, it felt like you guys didn't. You basically like. I knew she was gonna die. Like, it felt like she was going to die, and I hated that I knew from the beginning that poor woman was going to die.
When it's blocked out that way, I was like, oh no, something bad's about to happen. Oh geez, oh goodness. But I guess that telegraphing is for people who watch a lot of movies. And I think that's why a lot of the reviews are like this too. Anyone who's reviewing this movie has seen those Jurassic World movies, and more importantly, the original trilogy, and has those things drilled into them. Mm-hmm. So when you get these moments that are like extended homages to the first Jurassic Park, we've seen that 4 times, or at least 3. Yeah. When you said 7, I was like, oh my God, there's that many of these?
Oh yeah.
Like what?
Oh, yeah.
But it is enjoyable. Like I said to Jamie Drack, friend of the channel over at Face Hero, like, it feels like this is engineered for some 8-year-old to be like, man, this is amazing. And I kid you not, some little kid in the bathroom walking out with his dad was in front of me was like, it's the best movie I've ever seen. And I'm like, well, mission accomplished, Gareth. Good job. It wasn't for me. It's for somebody who have a lunchbox.
100%. I think that's what I'm also trying to keep in mind is when I looked at the reviews from everybody else, the Google review was so high, but the Metacritic was so low. Yeah. And I was like, yeah, the critics are coming, but then there's still the families that are just enjoying the movie. I think it's the same with like How to Train Your Dragon. You can have beef with it being shot for shot, but those kids really liked it. And it does not matter what we thought.
Yeah. It's almost like this franchise is like review proof or critics proof. Because like, I did not really care for the 2015 Jurassic World, but it made $1 billion. And Universal's like, we're going to keep beating that drum until we don't make $1 billion. And they have proven me wrong. Fallen Kingdom, Dominion, those were not good movies, but they made so much money. And this movie, say what you will about it, I think it's an improvement from those 2 films, but it's going to silence the haters about it. And it does deliver what I wanted from a Gareth Edwards movie. He made a good creature feature. Like, the Distortus Rex is a ridiculous creature. It makes no sense. I think, like, the fact that they're like, we pulled from the Rancor, from the Xenomorph. I'm like, could you have found other, less famous creatures to pull from than just the Rancor? It's like you found the 2 coolest action figures from any toy box in the 1980s and smushed them together. It's like, there's all kinds of paintings, all kinds of like natural creatures that exist in the wild that you could have pulled from. And instead you just like pulled the 2 most basicest influences.
100%. And I think that's kind of a Gary Devin moves because they talked about like Super Troopers for the animals in 2014 Godzilla. I think that's like a move of theirs, which I mean, hey, inspiration, 100%, give it your due. And he has been outwardly everywhere been like, here's the 3 creatures we took from, 100%. Yeah. So I'll give you the credit, Gareth Edwards. You have not changed from what you originally were.
How angry, I don't want to spoil this too badly for people, but there is a credible thing that's almost like the rat in Avengers Endgame where this is the actual villain. Like Snickers is the real villain of the story.
So we can spoil it. If you're watching this is a spoilers conversation. This Snickers,
I forgot all about it until right this second.
It is, and the breakdown, the Easter egg breakdown's now on the new Rockstars channel. You can check it out. My theory, and you guys tell me if this is bullshit. To me, the Snickers is the curse of Dennis Nedry from the 1993 film. The man with the messy workstation. That Snickers bar is like chaos theory embodied. It floats into the door, which what kind of door has like a vent in it? God. I guess if it is like an air pressurized door, but it's that faulty to where just a Snickers wrapper getting caught in it shuts down the entire lab. That is crazy. But that is like, Engine is still using the software of Dennis Nedry. That's my thinking. Like, Engine never built their own security software. They're like, this Dennis Nedry guy, let's just take his algorithm and just like build on that. And Dennis Nedry built it to collapse. So like, to me, that's just an example of Engine never learned their lessons. And then so that someone with a messy workstation who just is eating too much junk food on the job can cause the whole thing to break. Bullshit.
No, your candy wrappers at your desk.
Oh.
You're dirty, Des.
Not the shave comb.
No.
I do have a messy workstation.
It's usually just food.
We need to get an Eagle's Nest cam on my workstation to see what is
Oh
accumulated
my god,
on
the way you eat, which is not a problem. Nothing's wrong. I made it sound like he eats like a crazy person.
I kind of do some days.
It'll be like an actual meal of vegetables and meat, and then it'll be like gummy bears.
It'll just be every Swedish fish that has ever come into the new Rockstars office.
He takes it.
A graveyard of the wrappers piled up.
And then a bunch of papers complaining about the Coke Zeros. But,
oh, yeah. Why get Coke Zeros? Why do that to yourself?
Oh my
it's
God.
like choosing to chew menthol gum or nicotine gum.
Jesus
Like if
Christ,
you're gonna
it's not
smoke,
that bad.
smoke.
It's
or
not
don't
that
smoke.
Bad. It's not that bad.
It is.
But
it's worse than bad.
I think, going back to your Snickers wrapper tangent, no, I don't think you're thinking too hard. I think that's a great theory. I think David Kep didn't think at all. I'm sorry. I think David Kep said, you know what? I really like this movie. Because this is also my beef about it. Sorry, this is now me fighting with David Kep. My beef is more so that I'm like, and we kind of talked about this, where I was like, I don't think people would get tired of dinosaurs, especially a museum that has 0 people attending a dinosaur. Because just out of the sheer education system alone, children have to go to there for like a day, for a day trip to whatever. College kids get free admission, so you're going there. People are not gonna get, because I don't go to zoos, but if I did, I would see an elephant and be like, this is insane, because I've never seen this. This is just something I never see daily. And I think David Kep's tired of talking about dinosaurs.
Yeah,
I think he's the one that's like, I am tired of it, and this is how I'm gonna justify it. And I don't think it's justified that well.
I want to know who walked into Universal in 2013 and pitched Universal on, hey, we got a new movie called Jurassic World, and here's the deal. People bored of dinosaurs now because they're so commonplace. Well, how much time has passed? About 10 years. Of course people get bored. My kid gets so bored with this dog, he wants this dog to die. And he says, let's get rid of this dog. But, it's like, what? Like, was it Colin Trevorrow? Was it Derek Connolly? Was it David Kep? One of these fuckers convinced people at Universal, and no one stopped to say, well, whale tours are still incredibly popular. You go to the zoo, giraffes, elephants, people are still lining up to see those things. Like, no one would ever be bored of dinosaurs.
It had to be someone at Universal, right?
They
That was
okayed
my
it.
problem, was I was like, I feel like someone put their hand in there and said like, yeah, no, we're not gonna add more to it, and we're not gonna take any away from it. I don't know. It made me just mad.
It's just like, you would think Steven Spielberg or someone would have put their foot down and said, hey, you know what? Despite these Jurassic World movies making $1 billion each, why don't we fix this by going back to the beginning where people were still in awe of dinosaurs? And instead, they just only let like Loomis do that.
Yeah, I was about to say, there's a massive part of the movie where like the whole centerpiece is, wow, they can still inspire wonder, but the rest of the outside world's like, nah, no, man.
They're bored. I get that, like, there's a line from Isabella where she goes, I hate them. I wish they never brought them back. I get that.
Yeah.
I get if people are afraid of them in the way that, like, in Godzilla movies, in Pacific Rim, people view them as a natural disaster and they hate them. But, like, people are not, in our world, bored of tornadoes. They're not bored of wildfires. They feel an existential panic about them. So, like, to imply that they are bored or they've lost taste of dinosaurs is just like such a dumb world detail that they did not fix in this movie. And I find that so frustrating.
And again, yeah, I get it. The movie, I agree. The movie's not for me. Because I genuinely was like, I kept going to these justifications of like, well, if that's true, then why isn't this also being articulated well? And I kept getting so irritated. And that was one of the ones that like just, it just like went over because I was just like, it's not selling me yet. Like, I'm like, why are we trying to act like these are horrible? Like, also, this is just me griping. This dad really thought he could cross that sea when there's dinosaurs all around that area, a mosasaurus, and you took your kids out in it, and you thought, like, I just needed one little justification that wasn't, I always do this. I want one little justification that's more than I always do this with my kids.
That's the worry of a father that just spread across your face. You were just like,
I'm afraid to take my son outside. Like, now I get it. Some people do cross or transatlantic voyages from Barbados to Cape Town. That does happen in the real world, but not in a world with dinosaurs.
There's a mosasaurus in the water! There's a mosasaurus in the water! They're not even the Spinosaurus. There's a Mosasaurus in the water. And the thing is, I appreciate it. They went back to it. Mahershala kept roasting the guy, being like, where are these kids going? Why would you bring them on a boat in the ocean? And then Zara goes, stop it. Taking your anger out on them will not fix anything. And he goes, ah. And he walks away.
Can we talk about the tragic Mahershala dead son storyline? Just, is that too sad? Like, we saw the little boy's face in the movie. That was like, maybe I'm just like too much of a softie now. It's so hard to motivate characters that way for me to watch that now. I'm just like, oh God, how are you even outside? How are you living your life right now?
In the screening I went to, that's why everybody came up for his big moment of like selflessness at the end of the movie.
Yeah,
because of that. Like, and I'm like, maybe everybody need to have like a dead kid in their house just so everybody could care when
Stop
these other
it,
people
Aaron.
got tucking all the play.
Aaron, no.
I'm just saying.
That device of like, let's put a dead child in it. One of them has a dead child, and we're gonna put all these children on an island.
Pathos.
But again, I saw that child scene and I went, oh, that's a cute little actor. Because I didn't have an emotional connection to these characters.
Yeah.
I literally did. I was like, it just wasn't. And maybe this is on me, because I rewatched the Jurassic Parks not long ago. I love a cold open. Let me tell you, that little girl with the roast beef, that's my favorite cold open. Maybe that's why I didn't care about the child. But yeah, I was like, it was funny to me. But I love those cold opens. I love but it felt so quick. It was within like 15 minutes, including the cold open, that they are on that island. And the plan is go. And I'm like, oh, I don't know who these people are. I know that you tried to trick them to get more money, and that was funny, but I don't know how to feel about these people yet.
The thing is, if you go back and watch Spielberg's 93 Jurassic Park, a movie that I consider a classic. I love that movie. I watch it once per year. The script, David Koepp and Michael Crichton's script, is not like the best script. A lot of the characters' backstories are kind of artificial. Wait, you're talking about which one? The 1993 original.
The 1993.
I need to go back. It works for that film, but it is not the best script that Spielberg has taken on. And so I think what has happened with this franchise is they keep going back to that one as platinum standard, and it is not. It is silver standard. So I'm begging you, I know you're going to make another one, Universal, because this movie's doing very well. Yeah. Do better than the 93 movie. Go to some other great creature feature. Look at Aliens. Look at Alien. Look at The Thing. Look at other good creature features and look at what those scripts do well and challenge yourselves to write a better script than the 93 original film.
I was going to say about the 93, because I was just talking to my mom about it, because she saw Jurassic World 2 Rebirth, and we were like, maybe it was just under the guise, it was the very first one, and we were astounded by it. It's 1993, so it's like, watching it was great. It was great. So we're always going to compare it to the original, the first one, all of them, and we just didn't have time to really sit and think of like, oh, could they have expanded on this? Could they have actually stretched this? What could they have done? I think it's also seeing those dinosaurs was just so oh, we were so like, I don't know. And that's why I was like, oh, I never really thought about the writing in the very first one because it was the first one. I was like, the bar was set here for me with the first one, but then I never thought about it compared to like other giant monster movies.
The writing is hokey. But the characters, like Dr. Ian Malcolm is just one of the best characters in film. Alan Grant and Ellie Sattler have just a great connection that the actors brought to the scene. Sure. The writing on the page, if you read that script, you're kind of like, oh, okay. No, like it's kind of silly. But that's okay. We bought it because the movie elevates it all into something that is just a masterclass in horror suspense editing in some scenes, and action. It was a VFX revolution with that film that changed Hollywood, and they did just a cool blend of stop motion animation, practical animation, with like giant puppetry from Stan Winston's studio with VFX that had never been done before in this way. So I get it. Like, I don't want to sound like I'm shitting on that movie too much, but it's just like, if you go watch an outdoor movie screening of the 1993 Jurassic Park, there's going to be some people who are kind of giggling during some parts of it. And there's a reason why.
Yeah. It is a campy-ass movie.
It is.
It's campy, but it's okay. We forgive the camp. But now, we have to do better.
Yeah, I get that. I get that.
I mean, unless you force Dom into it, which I believe that's where it's all headed anyway.
Hold on. Dom, like Dom.
Toretto? family.
The thing
Put
is,
your
The
familiar-
dominant dominus.
I feel like if any other company did like crossovers again like that, then then Universal would not hesitate. They would be like, we are gonna put Dom in there. We're gonna make this a shared universe.
I'll never forget the day that article came out where someone floated that, and I was like, this is on some executive's board. This is what they want.
But hear me out. How much money would that merch make
so
in
much.
the park if you got a barracuda riding off the back of like a dinosaur? Wait, what was that Whoopi Goldberg in the dinosaur movie? Or was it Whoopi Goldberg in the dinosaur? Who was it? Where she was the detective with the dinosaur?
I should know that.
What is that
come on.
movie? Because we could do that movie again.
Save us, chat.
We could do that
Save us,
movie
chat.
again. Hear me out. We just have to make sure these dinosaurs don't eat us.
Chat has no response yet. They're on it.
Okay, thank
Good.
you. It
Thank
is
you,
Whoopi
guys.
Goldberg, right?
Yeah,
Is
I
it?
think so. It fits
Because I was like,
timeline-wise.
I want to be. It fits time.
It does. This all happened.
Was it
in, like,
before or after Ghost? I love that. She went from Ghost to Color Purple and then a dinosaur detective.
the 90s, baby?
Dude,
That's what
and,
it was.
and that's on diversity. We love it, and we love it, and I support it fully and wholeheartedly.
We here at the Break Room love to talk about food. We get in fights about Bagel Mondays, okay? We're always talking restaurants or what we brought for lunch or what we're excited about. We love food. Everybody does. But when you don't have the time to cook, it can be hard to make sure that the food you eat is food you love. Unless you use Factor, okay? Factor has chef-made gourmet meals that make eating deliciously and eating well easy. They're dietitian approved and ready to heat and eat in 2 minutes. Heat and eat, baby. Factor can help you feel your best all day long with wholesome smoothies, breakfasts, grab-and-go snacks, and more add-ons. Factor takes the stress out of meal planning and sets you up for success. You get to skip all the shopping and the chopping and the scraping and the scooping and instead get chef-crafted, dietitian-approved meals delivered right to your door. Factor meals are always fresh, never frozen, and there are over 35 meals to choose from per week, including options like keto, calorie smart, vegan, and veggie, and more. I have recently had the veggie tomato risotto. Ooh-wee. It was very good, perfect level of that tomatoey bite, and the risotto was very creamy. It was delicious, and it was ready in 2 minutes. Get started at factormeals.com/breakroom50off and use code breakroom50off, that's the numbers 50, to get 50% off plus free shipping on your first box. That's code breakroom50off at factormeals.com/breakroom50off for 50% off plus free shipping. factormeals.com/breakroom50off.
So the river raft scene is an excellent scene in this movie. Did it feel like a non-negotiable that was just forced into this movie and didn't have any reason to be in the movie? Why are you holding my trading card like that?
I'm gonna throw it. And you might be right. I don't care. I love that scene so much. It was truly horror. Like it was so scary. I remember I grabbed the hair of the person next to me. I knew them. I knew them. They were my friend. It was no stranger. But I literally was reacting so viscerally. But I also do think like they wanted to do that scene. Mm-hmm. They really did originally, and they were like, let's do it. My fear is, do you think they were like, this is the first thing we're going to put in the movie, and we're just going to make a movie around this scene?
It felt like one piece of it.
Yeah.
It felt like there was like 16 different pieces, and they narrowed it down to like 7 pieces, and then they just forced those 7 pieces into a movie.
Well, Gareth is a big dweeb about this franchise. So if he heard that there was an original part of the first one that was supposed to get made, and then you guys give me carte blanche, we're doing it.
Yeah.
We're figuring it out, however it has to happen. So I think that absolutely it was probably planned. I think your mood board selection is spot on. There is a big, big mood board of like, here's the parts from the first one, here's something from Lost World, here's something from Jurassic World, here's like, because they're you can call them out if you've seen all of them.
Yeah.
The part in the little convenience store with more product placement, when that Snickers comes back right when things go to shit.
I noticed that too. Like the curse of the Snickers is like the whole movie.
That's so funny.
That's
so
like
funny.
what. So can we talk about like the ending? Do we think that like is this Dino DNA gonna be distributed throughout the world on like through public channels, through nonprofit organizations in a good way? Or is this the start of something new? It feels so right being here with you.
It feels like just to follow the blueprint of Jurassic Park, it has to be another evil corporation that forces a bunch of people back to an island, right? But I also think just because they have the DNA samples doesn't mean everyone's going to get it right the first try. And I think a lot of people are going to learn, all it took was going to an island and siphoning like these 3 ingredients. We should all try it.
That was one of the weirdest moments of This Is the Screenwriting happening to me, which was that we contrived a reason to have to get the samples from a living dinosaur. We had to.
It was good.
It was
I
good.
liked it. It was a video game.
Interesting.
It was a video game. It felt like Jumanji.
There was beacons like on the mini map.
And also, okay, first off, and me and Erik kind of talked about this. They wiped those M&Ms off the map and were like, here we go. It's coming right over here. We got to go northeast 100 degrees. I said, give me this shit. I was like, give me this. I don't care. I want it to be as ridiculous as possible. And the logic behind it, does it make sense? Well, do the dinosaurs actually? We have to get them while they're alive.
I love that it has to be sea, land,
and air. It's
like,
a
why
video.
can't it just be 3 land
Because
dinos?
it's a video game and it is coded to be one. I can't wait until that video game comes out because you're like, oh yeah, here's the 3 things I have to get from land, sea, air. Oh my gosh, the 4th boss can basically do all of
It really
them.
is like Super Mario Brothers 3. It's like we have the water world, we have the sky world. It's like, come on, guys. Like, I get that, like, larger Colossi dinos have larger hearts that make them less prone to heart disease. But, like, do we have to be so transparent about it? Because, yes, as they point out in the movie, it is extremely hard to get a flying dinosaur that's the size of an F-16 to, like, get one from the air. It'd be way easier if, like, can't you just get it from one big Titanosaurus and then another big, like, vegetarian?
David kept sitting in his house going, fuck y'all. he said, you guys want entertainment and I gave it to you.
No, he's sitting in his mansion saying
Oh,
that.
no, 100. Oh, it's a gold throne of the dinosaur bones that they gave him. The fossil fuels that originally were supposed to go to the people.
Fetch me the tablet so I can heckle these people who are talking about
Give me my iPad, the 9-incher. He types in the 9-incher.
I think, like, I what I miss from this movie is, like, I think when Jurassic Park is best, it is criticizing theme parks. And Michael Crichton had that in his original novel. This is the guy who wrote the Westworld movie that was, like, later turned into the HBO series. And I think it has never been more relevant to make fun of theme parks, whether it's like Universal's Epic Universe opening or Disneyland and these other theme park expansions. Like, why can't they just make a movie that criticizes, like, I feel like that will bring people to Universal's parks. Like, the next movie needs to be, like, we find out off the coast of Vietnam or somewhere, like, in, like, some Pacific island off of Fiji or something like that. There is another rival company that has actually created another park, and then just repeat that formula. Tell a different story with different human beings who have a different reason to be there.
Oh, just like on the other side.
Yeah, and then
I think I would be down for that.
And it doesn't have to be exactly what Jurassic World was, because Jurassic World was that, plus, like, 7 other things. And it also had to be, like, mutated dinosaurs.
See,
and, like, you don't have to have an Indominus Rex or a Distortus Rex for us to care. They just have a good T-Rex scene.
I think that's the hard part is, like, Jurassic World did take a lot of hats. So it's kind of hard to be like, they had an auction. They started auctioning off the
and Fallen
dinosaurs.
Kingdom,
They
yeah.
also had a park that realized, like, this was a bad idea. They broke out. They're killing a bunch of people. It's like they did so much dancing that I was like, damn, it's hard. Because now they can't really do anything because Jurassic World did everything. But yours, like, just going somewhere else and seeing how other places dealt with the dinosaurs or if the dinosaurs changed for them. And like, I understand that they were like, yeah, here, they can't survive. The oxygen's bad. But I'm like, okay, but if you go to this specific island where most of the people live on literal water, like their houses are built on the river, what dinosaur is over there lurking in the muddy waters? Like, or what about the people that do hunt and kill these people, like to eat or to do whatever to? I'm like, I would love to see how other places react to these dinosaurs.
Jessica wants to see prey, but in this world.
Yeah.
That's basically what
I want to eat a dinosaur.
Can I pitch you guys what I wanted to see for this movie, and I feel like could still be a future Jurassic World movie? If you're not interested, you don't have to say yes. I'll just write
I'm
it.
interested.
Okay,
I'm always
my pitch is have a dinosaur island that, instead of being a theme park, is opened up as a big game hunting
Oh,
grounds.
100, easy.
A reserve for oligarchs for Russian oligarchs, for tech CEOs, whoever you want to say the jackass billionaires of our world are, to go there and prove their masculinity by hunting a raptor or a T-Rex. And then it's marketed as this place where billionaires can go. So it's not like open to the public like a Universal Park. It's more of just like a hush hush, we have a reserve where you can go hunt these things and do big game hunting. So we get to parody that, but we get to also parody like how you have to be super wealthy to be able to afford to go to parks nowadays with your family. And then you could have like a family of rich people, kind of like, how Craven kind of began like that. But do it good. And then you could just set it up with dinosaurs. Basically the first act of Craven, but with dinosaurs. There is a good movie there. And you can hit all the same notes of the original Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
It's just a bunch of assholes, but maybe some kid gets dragged along or something like that. And everyone is there for a reason. And then maybe everyone's an asshole. And then we get to see the dinosaurs hunt them.
I like how you added the child in there, like the child in the submarine. Like, it's like her dad.
I didn't make that reference.
You did make that reference. I did.
Oh, no.
You were acting like James Cameron about it, tweeting what they could have done right. That's what James Cameron did. That's not what
I wasn't going there.
But no, I think what the thing is that's crazy is I'm sure someone has pitched that idea because that idea feels like it feels like Hostel, where they're literally shopping for their person they're gonna kidnap at a circus or at like a carnival. And I'm like, no, this sounds like something they probably pitched. I doubt Universal wants to see people hunt dinosaurs.
Well, that's the thing. They fail at it. And I think what they would say is that's already happened. Like, you have Muldoon, it's kind of the game warden of the first one. You have the guy in the second Jurassic Park, or Lost World, who's a big game hunter. And that's the only reason he's there. You have D'Onofrio's character in Jurassic World that is kind of like, we can use these as weapons.
But if the entire party's doing it, not just one, not just a bunch of followers, it's a bunch of different people hunting.
Yeah, and that is a big thing in movies right now. Like, I feel like you can pitch that to studios and streamers and they'll say yes to it. An island where something happens, something like a culty island.
Jesus.
Cult Island is big. Whether it's Glass Onion, that other movie where it was kind of like...
Blink.
Yeah, Don't Blink. Where it's like you invite people and there's like an eccentric weirdo billionaire who's like, my lab has bred these so that you can hunt them. Like, there could be something fun there. It'd at least be scary. And that's what I really wanted in a Jurassic Park movie. What I liked about Rebirth is at many points it was very scary. The monsters were scary.
There is a cast-off moment in this that is just there as like Easter egg fodder for all of us sitting here, where they say that Jonathan Bailey's character studied under Grant. I want to know who else he trained. And then they go do something together, and then they're like, oh no, you shouldn't make the dinosaurs mad.
What makes me more mad is we all knew who it was. We all were like, it's Jonathan Bailey's character. And then everyone was like, yeah, but who is he gonna play? And I was like, no, we all just think it's Jonathan Bailey's character. And then he was like, no, it's not me. Everyone was like, no, it's not Jonathan Bailey. And then the movie was like, I studied under Grant. And I was like, I'm gonna beat your ass. I'm gonna beat your ass. Also, this is the equivalent line to me as in Daredevil Born Again, where it's, can we say it was a scroll? I was like, okay. These are just throwaway. We're just throwing out characters' names now. Someone say Laura Dern's character. Someone just yell out another character.
Yeah.
God damn it.
I do like... Loomis was a lot of fun to watch in this movie because he was kind of like a merging of the character DNA of all three of the leads of the 1993 movie. There was Alan Grant in there, there's Ian Malcolm in there, and there's some Ellie Sattler in there too. So he was kind of like maintaining the legacy, but even then he was kind of like a triple member berry of a character rather than someone who's actually motivated in a way. Like, no one in this movie felt like a fully fleshed out character, and maybe that's by design. Maybe we recognize that the dinosaurs are the stars of this movie.
Can I please say we haven't talked about the jerk kid? We have not said a word about Jerk Boy.
Xavier?
Xavier,
the boyfriend?
Yes.
I like the boyfriend.
He's hysterical.
Jerk with the heart of gold.
I say whoever this boy is, he's gonna get roles now. Like, I'm gonna see him all the time now. He was funny as hell.
Did he have weed?
I think he did.
I think he had weed.
Yeah, he absolutely
But
did.
wasn't the weed wet at that point?
So it probably wouldn't work, but if you like try to like, I guess, dry it, he tried to do that.
Like, Xavier, what are you doing back there? Give me another 4 hours
Don't
to
worry
let this
about-
weed bake in the sun.
He's going like this. He's just trying to warm it up.
Someone
That's
sold
so funny. I like that guy.
Someone sold that poor boy oregano, man.
And honestly, and he probably fell for it too, because he's an idiot.
Yep.
He's an idiot. He was the funniest part. That was like such comedic. That was Gareth Edwards being like, let me get him to say his stuff towards the camera and say it really funny like and be the dumb idiot of the group.
I love his line of like, have you ever bought a bed, or old people when they buy beds, do you think this is the bed I'm gonna die in? That's how I feel right now. I thought that was great. Like, to me, I was sold on that kid. I'm like, this kid's gonna be great. But yeah, I mean, he was the most interesting human being in this movie, I feel like.
Yeah, because also the dad had his arc with him, and I was like, this is the only person I'm seeing an arc with, and it's because like he's showing himself to be like not just lazy, but just like not totally there all the time, and the dad being like, you're actually very sweet, and I'm very happy that you're dating my daughter, and I wish you would not let people think of you as something else. And he's like, you know what? I gotta piss. And like, that's what he said, because he was like so embarrassed. He's like, I'm gonna go pee in the woods. And immediately those animals started attacking. But I was like, oh yeah, this is nice. And this was different to me than ScarJo's and Mahershala's, because we got to see the entire thing on the boat. He was useless. He was worthless.
Useless.
Even when he got stuck and he was like, get the radio, useless. Fell underwater, useless. Like nothing was helpful. And then once he got on land, noticed that the man's leg was broken, was actually making that step and that initiative to change. And I was like, see, we're seeing it.
Yeah.
It just came out of nowhere with Mahershala and ScarJo.
Now, with this movie, ScarJo is, I think, one of the highest paid film actors in the world, and I applaud that, considering how like Marvel tried to pull a fast one with Black Widow. Great, good for you, Scarlett Johansson. I'm a big fan. However, did Scarlett Johansson need to be in this movie?
Yes.
Explain.
Yes. Okay, this is Jessica Clemons being biased. As soon as they were like, yeah, Scarlett Johansson, I was like, oh, I'm getting Black Widow again, 100%. And that's how I thought of it. A covert, what is it, was it a dark op? What was she? Black Ops? That's basically a Black Widow. And I was like, oh, I would love to see her again. And she's really good at doing her own stunts. I'm excited to see her do it. And then when she did it, she did it. And I was satisfied. Could it have been anyone else? Of course it could have been. But I also think you kind of split hairs when you have her doing her own stunts. You know what I'm saying? Because she does do her own stunts.
Could this have been anyone?
Who else would you want it to be?
Kaylee Spinney.
Who's that?
From Civil War.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Still don't know. I didn't see Civil War because you guys talk so bad about it.
No, Civil War's fine. And she's been in a few other things recently. Kaylee Spin, whatever. How do you say your last name? What about, could it be, anybody. I mean,
Margot Robbie?
Margot Robbie she would probably be even more expensive than Scarlett Johansson.
Oh, you're trying to go cheap.
I'm not trying to go cheap. I'm trying to go value, like best bang for your buck.
You don't think ScarJo's bang for your buck?
I think she's great. I just don't think they needed a big star like that in a movie where the dinosaurs are the stars.
They got Mahershala.
Right, and I'm also going to say, did this movie need Mahershala?
Yes! Duncan Kincaid?
I think Mahershala is needed more in the MCU right now. We need stars like him in the MCU.
We are comparing it.
I'm saying you can cast unknowns in Jurassic Park movies and do not need A-listers in Jurassic Park movies. I mean, Jeff Goldblum was a huge star in 1993. Sam Neill, Laura Dern, were they as big as stars?
No, but this isn't a Universal project in 2025 where they're only caring about money.
I'm just saying.
Because it's also still, remember, it's still Gareth Edwards. I don't think, actually, maybe he does have a little say in it. But I'm like, Gareth Edwards loves putting big people in his movies too. Bryan Cranston was like the biggest star for 2014 Godzilla for a minute. Until he died.
I'm just saying, if you watch Alien Romulus, the 2 stars of that movie, the guy who plays Andy the Android and Kaylee Spinney, if you plug them in to ScarJo and Mahershala's roles, it's the same movie.
I don't doubt that at all, but I wonder if they're also like, if the plot's not good, at least you're watching ScarJo, Jonathan Bailey, and his little slutty glasses, which they have been promoting. His slutty little glasses. And you get Mahershala smiling and giggling with his beautiful self. Like, I think they still are, like, weighing on the actors. Because every review I've been seeing, people are always going to be fine with those actors. And they have been, like, even as a joke, people have been like, whatever Mahershala and ScarJo and Jonathan, I would have watched it regardless. So I think, like, it's just less risk for Universal to go with big stars, if that makes sense.
Do you think they were going with, like, some sort of, like, subconscious sort of, this is a good guy, this is a good guy, you should be rooting for them even if the script doesn't do it? Like, because I guess it needs that. But you're right. If you had slotted if we had a wheel of Hollywood women and just spun that bad boy and it landed on, like, I don't even know, Isabella Merced, nothing changes.
I mean, Isabella Merced would have been great.
Hear me out.
Yeah.
Could they have lifted that script?
Ooh-wee.
Could they have lifted that script?
Madam Web says no from who I can say.
Could they have lifted that script? Because that's the part too. Because there were lines of dialogue that ScarJo had that was maybe 2 sentences with a mouthful of nothing.
I want to make it clear,
So-
ScarJo's not the problem. Mahershala is not the problem. They're both so charismatic and wonderful, and I had such a great time with them. I'm just saying, like, they could have made this same movie, and I think that's a commentary on the script for not writing roles that were like specific to these actors that needed these actors to deliver it. But yes, I think Isabella Merced is like exactly who needs to be an A-lister star at the forefront of these movies. Also in Romulus, also in Madam Web, also in Superman, and as Hawk Girl in Superman. I think by the time you're watching this, my review is out. She is awesome. She is so good as Hawk Girl, and I can't wait to see her in Peacemaker and hopefully her own movie someday. Like, she needs to be the star of these movies now.
100, I agree, but it's just low risk. And if I would, Universal can make mistakes and still have money, but I think they do take into account, like, people are just going to see this because it says Scarlett Johansson at the front. Yeah. It's the same reason why they cast Jack Black in voice acting roles.
Fair enough. And Chris Pratt as Mario.
And Chris Pratt as Mario. Yeah. And all these characters that are originally voice actors were like, oh, I'm going to see Charlie Day as Luigi. That's was that not your winning reason for going to see Mario? Was that Charlie Day as Luigi? That's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy.
I reviewed this movie on Letterboxd, and I'm trying to remember what my grade was. Here, I want to read you guys my Letterboxd review just to plug my Letterboxd, which I forget that I have. And I want you guys to tell me what you think would have been a fair number. I gave this movie 3.5 stars on Letterboxd. I think I liked this movie overall more than a lot of people did. I said Gareth Edwards made a really good creature feature, and it more than delivered what I was hoping for. But for me, a good Jurassic Park movie needs to have some commentary on theme parks and zoo entertainment, and I'm annoyed that the franchise has moved away from that into big tech and big pharma and big agriculture and stuff. Get back to the Disneyland criticism. There's so much there. Anyway, the dinos are damn great in this movie, but there's a lot of stupid humans doing stupid things. It's gorgeous to look at. So vibrant and well-shot action. You just forget it's a Jurassic Park movie sometimes, and that's kind of sad. Whatever, I still want this movie to make 1 billion smackaroos, and I want Universal and Donna Langley to run this town so Gareth Edwards and Chris Nolan can keep making their crazy passion projects that look so damn yummy.
Damn. And Universal is. I think Universal also is like, Gareth Edwards, you know how to do a bunch of CGI like really quickly. Can you please come do this movie? And he was like, sure, why not? That's my impression of Gareth Edwards. I love Gareth. There has never been, I don't think I've been online that ever been like, I hate Gareth Edwards. So you guys know, even though I'm making fun of him, I love my boy G. My boy G.
He is very good. He's a director. There's only maybe like 10 directors that I will watch every movie they make. Gareth Edwards is one of them. Steven Spielberg, Denis Villeneuve, Chris Nolan, Greta Gerwig, Bong Joon-ho.
I want to hear the risky one.
Jordan Peele, Michael Kugler, and let's see,
Ryan
Scorsese and Tarantino. Those are probably my 10.
I actually had a list.
Damn. Mine, Michael Bay. Sometimes Olivia Munn. And Olivia Wilde. I'll put both of them on. Oh, God. That movie was bad. Olivia Wilde's movie. I'm sorry, Florence Pugh, that you had to deal with that. That was a long time ago.
It was a while ago. So with 3.5 stars, that was basically a 7 out of 10 is what I gave it.
That's a pretty good score.
And I feel like I'd give this a 7 out of 10. It's fine. Would you guys feel comfortable rating this movie out of 10?
It was better. It was easier for me to give a letter because C felt very middle for me. I didn't give it a C-. I didn't give it a C+. I just am a person that, like, the script can pull me out of things very quickly, more than like even acting can most of the time. And I'm like, why would they say this? Or if I'm like, I don't feel this way, or what's going on? And it's also given to us by someone that we held in such high regard. I'm still giving it a C. But that's the thing. I would see it again for that goddamn river raft scene. The Gareth Edwards parts I'm obsessed with. I don't give a damn that people are making fun of the dinosaurs kissing. It makes sense. Dinosaurs need to kiss.
So I gave it a numerical grade. Jessica gave it a letter grade. Aaron, could you give it a roars? Like number of roars?
3.5 roars regular. 4 roars in 40X. Because when I saw it in 40X,
4 roars.
Yeah, you say that now until your neck's broken. Until your neck snapped.
What?
Are you serious? Have you not seen? Who is it? No, somebody went to go see F1 in 40X and recorded it.
Oh,
and
what?
they were getting yanked around that room. But in this, your legs would get broke. Water would hit you everywhere. You'd be blind. I don't think I could do that. Also, is the 4 roars out of how many roars?
I don't know.
I was doing it out of 5.
Okay.
Oh, that's a lot of roars.
That is a lot
Okay,
of
so
roars.
I'm the only person that was like talking crap on it.
But 1 roar equals 3. Cool, cool, cool. Right? So Raptor barks.
Were you doing the Mutadon one?
Yeah. Let's rank these movies. How does you don't have to rank all of them, but where would Jurassic World Rebirth fit in with the 6 other Jurassic Park movies? Jurassic Park, Lost World, Jurassic Park 3, Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, Jurassic World Dominion. Where does Rebirth fit for you?
I think maybe 4.
Number 4.
Number 4. I had a lot of fun time in the first Jurassic World. I had a ball of a time in the first Jurassic World movie. I had a great time. But I think this movie I liked a little bit more cinematically than that movie.
Okay. Fair.
Dominion's last. Dominion is
Yeah, I
last.
think we can all assume that Dominion's, unless you're one
No,
of these
no,
psychos, Aaron.
no. You're not gonna stick them on me. Dominion and Fallen Kingdom probably under this.
Okay.
That next, I really like Jurassic World 1 too.
Yeah,
like I
love
just
Jurassic
do.
World a lot. It's so fun.
And I'm also a child of the 90s, so like all of 1 through 3 are just gonna be up there.
Yeah.
Just because
Okay.
I don't know.
I think it's better than 3 for me.
Okay.
But it is not as good as Lost World. It's like 93, then Lost World, then I guess Jurassic World's better. But like they did so many things that pissed me off, and this movie didn't piss me off as much. But I don't know. I guess Jurassic World, and then this is 4, and then Jurassic Park 3 is number 5 on my list.
I wanted to tie it with Jurassic Park 3 really badly, but then I was like, no, I think I like it a little bit more. Jurassic Park 3 more than this one a little bit.
That's how much Gareth loves it. There's a part that is a beat for beat thing from the 3rd one, and I was like, you love this franchise.
Which part are you referring to?
Are you talking about when they're in the field with the long? Yeah, it's shot for shot, like the same with Laura Dern and what's her name when they found the dinosaur, and then they look over and it's all the other dinosaurs.
But are you saying Jurassic Park 3 with Erik? With Tia Leone and William H. Macy and...
That happens in this movie?
No, that happens in Jurassic Park 3, the Joe Johnston
okay.
one.
I was like, I don't remember that part in the Jurassic
You were
World
like, what
Rebirth.
happened?
Jurassic Park 3 had the Spinosaurus,
Yeah.
had the Pteranodons, and the aviary.
Oh,
Yeah.
so those were the 3 that it took. Oh, okay.
And yeah,
That
the
makes sense.
Quetzalcoatlus kind of reminded me of the Pteranodons.
We saw like a weird Quetzalcoatlus or whatever in Dominion, right?
Yes.
It attacked DeWanda Weiss's airplane.
Yeah. The Quetzalcoatlus has a familiar scene in that. That whole scene with them going into the temple to retrieve the egg felt very Indiana Jones coded to me. That was completely unnecessary because if this was an uninhabited island, or maybe it was inhabited, but dinosaurs only came back recently in the past like 20 years. So what is going on where there's an ancient temple that is worshiping these creatures that knew that dinosaurs existed? I understand that they have like Aztec or Mayan deities, but like that far out, hundreds of miles off the coast of French Guiana, the Mayans weren't paddling out there. What the fuck were they saying? What was this ancient temple?
Because you're not taking into account that bird had a giant beak and it was pecking at those stones.
No, you think it just...
It was chiseling those stones to make
was
it.
here.
He said, I can't choose which one I want, but I'm going to use every single part.
It's a living.
It's a living.
Okay, fair enough.
They talked about it in the Empire article, and they kind of threw it away where it was just like, yeah, we just liked it. They kind of talked about where like it was clearly like, Gareth was like, yeah, we just liked it. They couldn't even put like a name to what the art was specifically.
I'm telling you, that was just to audition Jonathan Bailey to be Indiana Jones. Because they are rebooting Indiana Jones. And I understand that Indiana Jones is at Lucasfilm, which is owned by Disney. And I understand that Universal is a different studio that is rivals with Disney. But somewhere, someone wanted to see how this looked. And it does look good. This guy does look good in temples. He looks good with a little bit of scruff. He looks good sweaty. I think I'm in love with Jonathan Bailey.
Yeah, Jonathan Bailey and Pedro Pascal, they're like ruling the like, you're just gonna get roles because everyone loves you.
But Pascal is
They're
done.
great.
Pascal is... No.
You think he's fading away? Wait, what?
No, he's not fading
Oh.
away. It's just like he's already conquered all of these different studios.
He's still going though.
He's been in everything.
He's in Eddington, the Eddington movie. Have you seen
right.
the pieces of it?
I haven't seen that.
Oh, there's pieces of it. There's now a TikTok going out with Austin Butler playing a character They're like trying to be very meta about the movie. So they're doing like Megan style, Smile style promos where they're now gonna reach you guys over Instagram and TikTok playing their characters. Okay. And it's scary. But I think he's still gonna do a wraparound.
You should not do Pedro Pascal. What they really should do for Indiana Jones is make it a short round trilogy.
Oh.
Ke Huy Quan is a huge star. He would be great. Partner him with like a young up and comer, maybe Phoebe Waller-Bridges character, and the two of them are partnering up, putting everything that Indy got out of temples back into the temples, steal them from museums, and say that thing belongs in ruins, and then take all the things back from museums and put them back. That would be a $1 billion movie.
But do you also think people would just go watch a Jonathan Bailey movie? Like that. This is me thinking PR, low risk people things. Like, I don't think Ke Huy Quan is low risk. Or I think it's like I would love that. I want that. You just slap Jonathan Bailey's face on things now. You just gotta slap it on things.
Okay, then Jonathan Bailey, Phoebe Waller-Bridge, and Short Round. But Jonathan Bailey is not Indiana Jones.
Wait.
He's some other archaeologist who's worked with Indy.
I thought you said they're rebooting it, so why would she come back?
I know. Yeah. If they're rebooting it, they're just gonna start fresh and then have a new, younger Indiana Jones, which I don't need. Short Round is already an action star, and let that guy take over the franchise.
I want an old Indiana Jones. Is that weird? I like my old Indiana Jones like I like my old James Bond. When they're young, it feels not right.
Yeah. You're gonna be upset when they announce who they're gonna have.
It's not gonna be Timothée Chalamet, and I know it's not. Because if it is, I will throw myself through a window.
Oh no! It's gonna be that kid from Superman. It's gonna be Skylar Gisondo, and he's gonna.
Who is that?
He's
Are you talking about Jimmy from the? No.
You need to see Superman, Jess. Just wait till you see Superman.
I saw the Santa Clarita Diet.
You watched what's it called? Licorice Pizza.
Oh, I did. Is he a bully?
He is. He's such a good bully in that movie.
No, I don't want to see him as James Bond.
He's gonna be in everything after this movie.
I hope he is. I love him. He's funny.
Well, we'll leave it there. This has been an interesting review, but I feel like we covered all the important things. Aaron, this has been amazing to chat with you about Superman.
Thank you guys.
We talking about Superman?
Or what are we talking about? Jurassic World. To talk about, I see my brain is still with Jimmy. To talk about Jurassic World Rebirth. Where can we find you, Aaron?
It's at Some Lake Corner on all platforms. I am going to be helping here for a little bit longer with the new Rockstars and the Breakroom team. So I am excited to be here. And at Phase Hero over with Brandon Davis and Jenna Anderson and Jamie Jirac, where we are hosting this on a parallel Earth where Jimmy is already Superman.
Damn. So it looks like everybody has seen the movie but me.
Oh.
I'm seeing it tomorrow.
But again, go subscribe to Phase Hero. It is, you guys do such amazing work over there. I love every Wednesday. You guys have such a great stream. And we're so glad we could have you on the show. And hopefully we'll have some other Phase Heroes over here on New Rockstars in the Break Room in the coming weeks ahead. But yes, subscribe to all the channels in the New Rockstars network, the Break Room, the New Rockstars, the Deep Dive. We have a highlights channel called In Our Highlights. We have an audio service called In Our Underground with a Danger Room podcast. It's a lot of fun. We have some really interesting conversations there. Follow us on all social media as well. Our review of Superman is on the channel, on the New Rockstars channel. If you're watching this on Tuesday, it's a no spoiler review. Our Easter egg breakdown is coming Friday. Our spoiler ending explained video is coming to the channel Thursday. And then lots of other crazy stuff happening this month. And we're gonna do our best to cover it as quickly and as thoroughly as we can. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you all next time. Bye, everybody.